Hello. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dungeons and Dragons. I think. Is this Dungeons and Dragons? It is, yes.
God, I hope
As far as I'm
so.
aware.
God, I hope so. As
I thought this
what
was
have we
Hello
been...
Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh, actually, honestly, say less, bro. Count me in. No. Yeah, so we're starting our playthrough of Hello Kitty Island Adventure today.
Hey, yo.
Part 77.
We need all of us here, or else we'll never complete it.
That shit's like $60. Go fuck yourself.
Is it actually?
Is it really?
Holy shit, what the fuck?
It's a
Sounds like
decent
40.
amount that is
This is
way
not
out of my budget.
sponsored.
Oh, sorry, I just wanted to make sure that
It is now.
No, it's not! God, I wish. Could you imagine Hello Kitty Island Adventure
Hello Kitty
sponsoring
sponsorship.
us to play Dungeons and Dragons? That'd be insane. Wait, I feel like mentioning the name is probably... We are not sponsored.
We are not affiliated.
All opinions that are our own. I think. I don't know how this works. It doesn't matter. We're here for Dungeons and Dragons. Last we had left off, our party had met each other. They'd been hired for a job. They found out that some stuff was stolen from a warehouse which belonged to the house of which one Syraxis belongs to. They went, investigated, found out that something was taken and dragged along in various different locations, leading them to the sewers. Went into the sewers, investigated a bit. Ooh, found some very, very strange stuff, namely some obluxes, or specifically one, some mephits that seem to have been doing some sort of ritual to contain and control some water element, question mark. Amongst various other things, they managed to get through with relatively, well, a lot of issues, but they survived. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters, right?
And eventually they emerge into this one large, what seemed to have been kind of gathering hall that had, for the most part, been quite clean. There have been some activity recently in that area, and it looks like potentially there probably was a group of people that were there until just recently. The torches, in fact, were still on, but there was only one person left behind defending the area. The party, through a little bit of a being tossed to the edges of their peripherals, unfortunately killed the person that was responsible for their slight downfall at the very end. And after doing so, they sat there for a little bit to recover, finding out bits and pieces from here and there, eventually leading them to come to the conclusion that it was best to lay off of it for the evening and to come back on the day after to determine if there was anything else that they could do. If I recall correctly, we had left off right as you guys had departed from the sewers, had spoken to the guard who was kind of taking care of the warehouse, and had just left off from one another, correct?
Uh,
Kind of, yeah.
So I left them. We talked to an actual city guard, let them
Yes.
know about the whole sewer thing and that there's some ooze monster on the loose
Yes.
that escaped from us,
Yes.
which is by definition technically what happened.
Yes. I recall correctly, I think it was like Lark or something, and he basically told you
Yes.
to come back in the morning, and that you should probably have as much of the evidence and everything prepared as possible so that he could do a proper full report.
Yes.
But yes, you had left off.
And Darcy is
there.
is prepping visual evidence.
Yes. So, Darcy, I think you had gone home. Where's everybody else going?
I think we were just going back to my place to
Right.
just
No one has said anything. I was just gonna go find an inn.
So, specifically in regards to that, there's probably a bunch of stuff that I forgot to tell you, but specifically, you and your wife have your own home within the district of Castle. Within the district of Magic. There is a small castle that is kind of like, it's more a manor than it is a castle, but it has its own grounds, specifically within the district of Magic, of which you and your wife kind of, as well as, family members, attendants and whatnot, have their, location. But that is your home, specifically. aside from that, there is also the office, which the trade lord, which your wife specifically works out of. You kind of use it as your own office as well, but it's a little bit further away from your actual manor. But it's also still located within the district of magic. Attached to like the office, like the building, the administrative building, where kind of most things kind of actually go on. There is a barracks of which you had previously kind of met up with a bunch of the others, as well as where typically you and Mr. Reginald spend your days training. But yeah, there's a few locations of which you can kind of pick and go to. You do know that within your castle there are rooms that of which people can stay in. You do have guest rooms enough to fit everybody within the group. Additionally, you also know that the barracks also has typically quite enough beds to support the majority of the folks. Yeah, it's up to you where you kind of want to go, and yeah, you do know that Darcy has kind of already departed away from your group. He has left on his lonesome in the dark at 2 a.m. in the night, while the rest of you are kind of still clumped up together.
10.
Sorry?
It was like 10, wasn't it?
No, it is 2 a.m. You guys left for the area at like 10. You guys spent quite a while within the actual sewers, like just exploring, kind of taking a look around, slowly gathering and doing things like that, as well as like the actual evidence gathering and kind of trying to look for the tracks. It took you a little while. Like it wasn't that long. It was like 2-3 hours, but still with all the walking and kind of going back and forth. Yeah. Also,
Okay.
one thing
I just
to
could have
note.
sworn you said 10 last session.
No. I don't think so because I always go by the clock that I have on screen.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So you should like that. That's almost always accurate.
No, I know.
'cause it's the one. But yeah. But you guys had left for the location at around 10, is if I recall correctly. That's what I said.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yes. Also, on a quick side note, I think one of you has passive perception above 20, correct?
Yeah.
You don't have dark vision though.
No.
Okay. While you guys were walking away from the location in the southern portion of the District of Love towards the guards post, you do recall hearing something odd on the roofs nearby. You kind of looked over to it, didn't spot anything, so you kind of just accounted it as a trick of the wind, but it sounded like a tile being moved. You hear it again now as Darcy walks away.
Does it seem to... Okay. If that is the case, I guess I will just kind of quietly whisper over to, let's go with Saros. And I'll just kind of like look at him and just be like, listen, could be a trick of the wind, could just be, whatever. You mind giving that building over there a look-see? I'll just kind of like nod my head in the direction of which building it is.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception check, Saros. Did Saros step away? No. Okay. Stop checking. But yeah.
I'm assuming I wouldn't have been able to give them advantage.
No,
with this?
unfortunately.
Okay.
Just because of the way that it was indicated, is basically you told them to look over there, not at a very specific location to take a look at, or what they were looking at.
So fair enough.
it wouldn't really be able to count as an advantage. But yeah, Saros, you take a look over there. You kind of glance over casually, trying to hide from, just in general. You don't spot anything. It looks just like a plain old roof. The buildings all around you are essentially this like kind of brick and mortar for the most part. Some of them are made out of these chiseled bits of marble, but a lot of the buildings around here in the south like eastern portion of the District of Love are just very ragtag. They're not super well put together like the castles and the manors within the district of Magic are. This is a lot more residential and kind of, homey to a lot of people. But the brick and mortar buildings, they're usually like 2-3 stories tall. But because of that, and the way that things are set up, it leads to kind of like narrow alleyways and various different portions of the city that are like pretty easy to look down upon from the rooftops. If you guys have played Assassin's Creed, it's very similar to Assassin's Creed 2's. I think it was Santorini. No, fuck, I forgot the location. But yeah, it's essentially. Was it? I know it was set in Florence, but I'm talking about that specific location where Ezio grew up. Whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so it's essentially a bunch of like really relatively tall buildings all around nearby, with the streets being quite narrow for the most part, but also being, kind of some of them filled with canals and some of them opening up into canals and things like that. From the best that you are aware, the city is very much floating upon the sea itself. How, you have no idea, but it does not actually, but it does like kind of move up and down along with the tide. The bridge that it ties to the actual land itself is typically quite flexible, and as such, it doesn't seem to move all too much, or at the very least, it doesn't bother people when they kind of come onto the island. Another thing to note, as you're kind of glancing over there, Saros, you don't spot anything per se, but it feels strange. You're not entirely sure why.
Strange, like it just something feels off. Like there's something.
Yeah, something feels off as you're kind of looking up at this roof. The top of this roof is in fashion. It's kind of like slanted at a slight angle. It's flatter than it is like 45 degrees, so it's probably closer to like a 30-degree slant. But you do see something that like you're not entirely sure if it's like right, but one of the tiles on that rooftop near where near where Eclipse had pointed out seems to be shifted, though not by a lot. It's basically that single tile is like a half inch down where it's supposed to be.
Okay. I'm gonna glance up and act like I didn't see anything, but I will kind of softly say, I didn't see anything, but there was a tile that was slightly off, and I get this feeling. I don't know. Keep your head down, probably. Maybe I would relay that to the group too, and just ask like, "There's something wrong here."
How are you relaying to the group? Are you just whispering to them?
Yeah, loud enough that hopefully everyone can hear it. But like, I'm gonna just keep looking ahead, walking straight.
Okay.
Alright.
One thing to note, the direction that you guys are heading is the opposite of Darcy, and because Darcy has already left the group, he wouldn't be able to hear.
That's okay.
Oh well,
He
If
left.
he dies, he dies.
that's
Oh,
rough.
man.
You know what? I met him a few hours ago, so
This is fair.
Nice knowing you, bud.
Oh boy.
Keep an eye out.
do we want to do anything about this? Just keep walking.
Which,
Oh,
I mean, when you
could see
when you
that.
say it looks wrong, are you meaning like as in it's not
It
been
got
kept in a while?
it got
or...
moved somehow.
Question. I need all of you to give me a stealth check if you're going to be like kind of having a conversation in regards to this and trying to keep it quiet.
Do a thing.
whispering.
I don't imagine that we have disadvantage on this since this
No,
isn't
there is no
movement-based.
disadvantage on this. This is
Okay.
purely voice-based.
If I'm not speaking, do I have to do it?
If you're not participating in the actual conversation itself, then no, you have no reason to do it.
Oh,
Like,
shit
guys, what's
roll.
going on? What are you whispering about?
I rolled a 6.
Auto roll disadvantage, so it's still 4.
It is a shame the first one is a 4.
Yeah.
We're really.
Why
good at
are we
hiding,
whispering?
Honestly, Darcy, as you're walking away, you hear them talk about some of this, and you're like, they're talking about a shifted tile on a rooftop? Well, you're like, what the fuck?
Guys, can you say it again?
Jake,
What's up?
noticing all of this, can I follow the group from a distance? You know, just instead of
Um,
distancing myself.
You can certainly try and do that, but like, how are you going to follow the group at a distance? Are you going to be like on the rooftops? Are you going to be just far
No,
far away?
just in the
There is,
crowd.
just on a side note, there is literally
Yeah.
no one on the streets. It is
It's 2 a.m.
2 a.m. There is no one else on the streets. It is literally just you guys. And glancing back, maybe like 150 feet back, is like Darcy turning, like he's already walked away. He's basically about to turn into a different alley, which would mean he's no longer visible.
This isn't New York. They actually sleep here.
Yeah.
You know, I'll follow rooftops.
Okay, give me a stealth check, and 2, an athletics check to get on top of the rooftops.
I'm good at those.
It's relatively easy to climb. I am going to say that because of the way that these buildings are set up, because they're brick and mortar.
You
Yeah.
say acrobatics or athletics?
Oh, I said athletics.
Oh, I'm not good at that.
Stealth you're good at. That one I can, automatically assume.
The rogue's curse.
That is actually more than enough. The DC was like 8. Because of the way that these buildings are, because there's like, bricks kind of sticking out, there's like handle rails, there's balconies and things like that. You really, really easily and quietly manage to get yourself up onto the roof with relatively little effort. But once you're actually on the roof itself, give me a perception check. You glancing around just to kind of check if there's anything around you. Oh, you don't have dark vision, do you? Do you?
I do.
You do. Then you do.
The only
spot
ones
it.
who don't are me, Reginald, and Sir Axis.
Yes, sorry. I just wanted to double check because I keep forgetting what's underneath the mask. Yeah, so because you do have dark vision, you actually spot a figure that seems to be following not you guys, but Darcy. And you see them on the
Mhm.
roof, kind of crouched low on the other side, so it'd be very difficult for any of you to see. And you 100% know he has not spotted you because, or sorry, he or they, you don't know. You can't tell if it's a man or a woman, but they're kind of like turned around, walking away from you, and from the best that you can tell, they're following Darcy.
Okay. Fuck, I don't have any of the spell components because I didn't buy shit. Haha. Okay, I would like to.
Rage.
I'd like to sneak up on that person.
Okay, sure.
Right.
How do you mean by sneak up? Like, are you gonna try and follow behind them? Are you gonna try and like follow, go up behind them and grab them or something? Or like, what exactly are you
So
trying?
my intention is to get close enough to them where I can basically like have a dagger or a short sword up against their back and threaten them, kind of.
Okay. Yeah. You can actually do that relatively easily, but because of the way that the rooftops are structured, I will need you to give me an acrobatics check just to make sure that you don't stumble as you're kind of climbing and walking around, getting to them.
Hey, you're good at those, right?
You are good at those, and excellently as expected, you do manage to do so with
Rogues.
relatively little issue. As you guys are kind of walking away from Darcy, you realize that your miscreant friend is no longer with you. You realize very much that, one Zane is just gone. But Zane, you continue
Oh, he's
forward.
Honestly, I kind of feel a bit more safe in my own home that now that he's not going to be staying with us. Honestly, I didn't want to say it. I did not want to, make that known or make that assumption. But honestly, I'm not gonna complain.
You
there's
definitely
something-
hear them say that. But
Something
you
about
also
staring at someone's.
continue to follow along with the mysterious kind of cloaked figure. As you get closer to them, you kind of pull out your short sword, and are you just putting it to the small of their back and just kind of talking to them?
Yeah, I'm gonna put to their back and then tell them to stop.
In that moment, as you kind of put the sword to their back and say stop softly, they instantly freeze. And you hear, underneath their voice, which does sound, from the best that you can tell, probably some sort of like a man, you think. But
Is he cloaked or?
yes, they're like, he's wearing like a full cloak. He's got like a hood up. The cloak is kind of covering the majority of his entire body, so you have no idea what kind of build or figure they might be. But it seems to be relatively tall. But aside from that, not able to tell anything else. They kind of freeze, and you see both of their hands go up ever so slightly, just like to
Remove
their
your-
sides. Sorry, what did you say?
Remove your hood.
Okay. You see him slowly take the hood back, and you see these kind of flowing medium, just almost like shoulder length hair that's slightly curly at the end, kind of fall back from beneath the cloak. A little frazzled, it looks like, and probably hasn't been washed in a little bit, but probably not too long.
What is your motive?
A friend took something of mine. I'm just trying to get it back.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah.
Enlighten me. What did he take from you that's so precious?
The only thing that was worth a damn that we left behind. My notebook. Trying to play coy.
Is this someone I know, Jake?
Oh yeah, this voice is very much someone you know.
Oh. Okay. Is it
I love how
Darren?
I'm picking up on who people are before the guy indirectly involved with them.
Yeah, this is 100% Darren. This is a voice you've heard many times before, and the attitude is very much like no bullshit, which is exactly kind of how he operated before.
It's been a while, Darren. Didn't think you would stoop to these lows, but here we are.
Oh, Zane, you fuck. Why are you the one stopping me?
Well, you see, our paths kind of contradict each other right now, so
Listen, all I want is that fucking notebook back. That's all I want.
what do you need it for?
It's got all of my it's my ledger. It's got all of our transactions, it's all of our history, my notes, my information, everything. Coincidentally, because I keep a very long ledger, it also has friendly contact names. Yours is not included, but your friend's is. I just want
Okay.
it back.
That's good to know. Well, you see, I think we might be able to strike a bargain here.
Yeah.
I'm after those dragon bones, which you might very well know about since you're the one that took them.
I didn't take them. My brother did. I fucking knew this stupid job was trouble. Look, we were contacted by someone within the prison, the tower. You know of it here in Onderlon?
I'm aware.
We went in, they had a job for us. Told us to retrieve some dragon bones and to deliver it to their buyer. It sounded like easy gold. But we don't do big jobs here, not anymore. I'd rather keep it low and steady, so I get my shit kicked in by the fucking trade lords. So I declined the job. My brother being all fucking high and mighty, thinking he's above the world, seemingly decided he didn't. That's why we left in a hurry. That's why I
Well,
left my notebook behind.
I hate to confirm your fears, but you might have pissed off some trade lords.
Yeah, no shit. Why do you think I'm trying to sneak behind your friend, get my notebook back, and get the fuck out of this city? The
Well,
rest of them are already gone. I've sent them off. I'm not going to tell you where. You don't need to know.
I don't. Quite frankly, I don't really care. But it's those dragon bones that I'm after for my job.
It's already too late. My brother's already sold them. There was a buyer within the city. If you want to go after them, that's probably your first start. Find the buyer. Yeah. All I remember. Here. Can you take that sword out of the small of my back so I can show you something?
Can I? Do I have like just a random like parchment? pocket?
You know what? Sure. We'll say you have like a scrap piece of parchment on you. Why not?
No, I think I like you where you are. Here, just take this. I give him the parchment with my empty hand.
He takes it. I don't have a pen. Or quill. Inkwell. Nothing.
Can I? Is there like a rock or like chalk or something?
We'll say you're carrying some scrap chalk on you. Why not? Fuck it.
Okay.
Hate to say it, but aren't you a wizard?
I forgot to buy.
Oh, right, you forgot to buy everything. Never mind.
We'll say you're carrying some scrap chalk with you in your notebook, in your spell
Man,
book. Why
his trip over in here must have been
not?
wild.
Jesus.
He just like tripped and fell, and all his shit just like
Bro's literally got nothing. He's
spontaneously
got his
come
spell
back.
book and he's got nothing else. Do you even have a spell book? Tell me you have a spell book.
I wouldn't be able to cast spells if I didn't.
Okay. Well, you don't necessarily need a spell book, but it's just where you memorize your spells. But
As I'd
yes.
say, you just needed the prep spells. You can technically cast without it.
Yes, it would be embarrassing if I didn't have that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I hand that to
you
him.
pull out your spell book. You kind of have a piece of chalk, the last tiny bit of a piece of chalk tucked into it. You give it to him. He takes it. He's like, "Really? You got to get better supplies." He scribbles like a symbol on top of it. Look for this symbol along the docks in the District of Wine. That's where we were told to drop the bones off. My brother's already got the payment, so he's fucking happy about it. But we're the ones who are paying for his idiocy. The entirety of the fucking city's probably going to be up in arms against us, given how the trade lords operate. I'm surprised it's just you and your buddies that went to visit us. Look, I don't want trouble. I just want the notebook.
I'm well aware of your nature. Well, you're just lucky that was me that found you, and not someone else.
Yeah, all the fucking luck in the world. Look, I've given you the information that I have. Will you get my notebook back from your friend?
When are you leaving?
Hopefully as soon as fucking possible.
How about you meet me in the... Hold up, Jake. Is there like any big landmark in the District of Wine?
Oh, there is tons of landmarks all over every single part of the city. What specifically are you looking for?
Just like a kind of like...
Well,
secret
actually,
meeting point?
you're pretty new to the city, right? You probably wouldn't know any.
Well, I guess just like from looking at the landscape.
The District of Wine is too far from where you currently are to be able to see any notable, like, landmarks.
Right.
There's-
Wait, which district? We're in the District of Magic right now?
No, you're in the District of Love, nearing.
Love, right.
You guys are probably like in this area. Like the city's still pretty big, so at this current moment, you wouldn't be able to see anything towards the District of Wine because the buildings in between you and there is just too tall. You can see that there's 2 theaters in the District of Love across a very large kind of stretch of flat land where a lot of festivals and such is held. The District of Love's northern end has a lot of like kind of castles and things where like recreations of plays and things like that are held. But as for the actual District of Wine, the majority of it, from what you recall, is just kind of made of vineyards, really.
Okay, I guess it's just a District of Love. How about this, Darren? Meet me in 2 days in the District of
2
Love.
days. 2
Where-
days?
Well, I gotta verify the information first and get
The
my shit back.
information. What shit? That's not even yours.
No, but the money I get from it is mine.
Good fucking god. I'd rather take my chances with getting my notebook back from your friend.
Well, then you're gonna have to deal with this in your back. Can I just poke it, like put a little bit of tension in it?
Ah, come on.
2 days is fine, right?
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
All this is happening, and Darcy's like 5 streets down now.
Someone's just whispering loudly and Darcy can hear.
Yeah, you see him like sharply turn as you kind of prod him a little bit. As you pull back ever so slightly, you see him shift off to the side. And as he tries to grab your weapon, you manage to kind of move your arm completely out of the way, but he is now out of your grasp, and you can see that he's now got his own rapier kind of pointed at you. Look, just let me go get my notebook. There's nothing else I can tell you. You're keeping me here for no reason. All you're gonna do
Fine.
is burn all the goodwill you had with me.
Fine. How about tomorrow? Tomorrow at noon.
Where?
I'll meet you near the city gates, and then you can leave the city immediately right after.
I'm not leaving by the gates.
Where are you leaving from?
You don't need to worry about that.
Okay, fine. We'll meet in that area where all the festivals are happening. I can just point in that direction.
Kind of glances over there. Fine. Noon. That building there. He kind of indicates to one of the ones that are just slightly off of the actual main square. I'll be around in that alley.
Got it.
Don't fuck me.
You know what they say, there's honor among thieves.
Oh, there better fucking be. You see he jumps off the side of the building. And as you kind of look down from where he jumped off, he's gone.
Can I go and catch up with Darcy?
Yeah, easily. Like, Darcy's not... I don't think Darcy is specifically trying to make an escape or anything.
Oh, I thought it just the
Darcy's
exchange
trying
took
to
too
get
long.
home
He
so he
just,
can fucking sleep.
Yeah.
maybe he's a speed walker. I don't know.
Yeah, he's just briskly walking. Give me a perception check just to see if you can find him. You kind of hop between some of the roofs. You don't know where he is.
Fuck.
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
this is one of the few times that passive stealth comes in.
Yeah. He's not even trying to be stealthy. It's just like you managed to lose him, unfortunately, because you spent too long talking to Darren.
Well, can I go back to the other bumbling idiots?
Yep.
Like,
They are
hey.
very loud, very unstealthy. That one is super easy to find.
Guys, I think we should check it out. It could be bad.
They've been discussing this for like 10 minutes.
I kind of just stealthily pop up back behind Syraxis.
Yep. Syraxis,
And I just like poke him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't believe I'm that scary, but listen. Darcy might be in danger. I think it's best if we if he stays with us for tonight.
Well, I kind of like sit there for a moment. It's a bit late for that, I think.
Look, Darren is after Darcy because of that notebook. Well, I managed to catch up with Darren, and he was able to make a bargain with him where we return his notebook, and in exchange, he gave us this. And then I pull up the scrap piece of paper.
And scrawled upon it, most of you see what appears to be some sort of like almost claw of some sort. It's kind of difficult to really tell, but it looks like a sort of claw mark. Like specifically as it's like drawn in the how do you describe it? In the shape of a claw.
This is who bought those dragon bones.
That's a symbol at all familiar. In
Yeah.
any way.
Unfortunately for you, it does.
Oh.
It is one portion of a greater brand that someone that you're very, very intimately familiar with has tattooed on their shoulder.
Me?
Yes, you.
Is it the... Hold on,
It's Jadoran.
hold on, this is live Thraxis reaction here. Let me find it.
Yeah.
It's at the very bottom here. It is. Yep. This is live Thraxis reaction.
All of you kind of watch as Syraxis slowly processes it, and his face darkens. Typically, it's a little bit harder to read a Dragonborn's mood. Currently, not that hard.
What is that? Is that
And did he say where this the symbol is?
He just said this was the buyer that purchased it, that put out the job to get it stolen.
He had specifically said that that this marked the drop-off location for the bones in the District of Wine. There was a prisoner within the tower, of which Darcy is aware of. It's essentially the prison of Ardalon. It's known as just the tower. And that location, he said that they were hired out of there. Like, they spoke with a prisoner, got hired, and then kind of to do this.
That is not good. Not good at all. In fact, that is quite possibly the worst outcome that could have come from tonight. Oh, this is bad. There's implications to this that I don't want to.
Telling us why?
Oh. So, it's been a while, but I knew someone who would have had this symbol on their body as a mark or a tattoo. How do I put this delicately? I kind of glance over at Reggie ever so slightly and kind of think for a moment.
Do I need to cover my ears?
No, we'll discuss this later. Let's just keep going.
First, let's get
They say-
Darcy
Did they say when the pickup is supposed to be?
for the journal.
No, the pickup for the supplies that this individual is supposed to be picking up.
He didn't say.
Oh, that's not good.
Didn't he say that it already happened?
Well, I guess he didn't say the date.
You do recall that he did say it already happened.
No, well, if it's already happened, then we might as well just get some rest. But that does narrow it down as to where, who it's going to and where we might need to look. Oh. But yes, I mean, you can get Darcy. I suppose I don't know where he lives. If you can find them, by all means, bring him back to my place. I suppose we can. I can make sure there are rooms to be had for the lot of you. I doubt my wife is awake at this hour, but yes, if you know where he went, by all means, go get him quickly. If you
I
think that he
don't
would be
know
in
where
danger.
he went. I
Well,
lost
Getting a shop.
yeah, I don't know either.
What can I ask what we're up against?
I will. I kind of lean in. I put a hand on your shoulder, a very firm hand on your shoulder. I will explain later. And I just pat him ever so lightly. And I do have a question I'll send to you, Jake, because I know you made like a slight change, so I'll ask that in a moment.
Sure. But yeah. So I'm guessing all of you just kind of depart back and head towards said locale, towards Mr. Syraxis's abode.
Yeah.
Do any of you go after
I'm
Darcy?
gonna look for Darcy's shop.
Sure. Give me a God, what would this be? Give me a investigation check.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. You got this.
How many
Oh,
wood
not
you
funny.
are
how many
good at this.
woodcarver shops could there possibly be in Ardalon?
There is maybe half a dozen at most, and most of them are located pretty far away from one another, because competition is unfortunately pretty stiff in this area. Darcy's good. The other guys are good too, and that's the only reason they can even manage to stay in business. But
We
yeah,
woodcarvers are a civil lot. We settle things through our craft.
this is true. But yeah, wandering around, you kind of just get a generic feel for how these buildings are laid out, and eventually you actually do come up upon Darcy's shop, and we can rewind a little bit as Darcy. You make your way home. Back to your shop, following the streets in familiar manners that you do recognize. Sorry, just one moment. Yes. So, yeah. Eventually, you get back over to your shop at the District of Love.
So sorry.
No. Yeah. So you do manage to get back to your shop in the District of Love, and as you kind of wander into your room itself, or into the actual building itself, you kind of walk in, and in that moment, you hear, Darcy, you're home! Finally! Oh my god.
What are you still doing up?
Well, you weren't home. I didn't know where you were. You watch as your kind of sister sits up from the couch that she was on, where she was seemingly reading with a small, like, basically candlelight, with a small book in her hands. You see that she's probably, actually, currently she would be in civilian clothes, not in guards wear. As she looks up and down you. So, why were you out so late?
Well, I had a meeting with Lady Rosewood.
Oh, Well-
Apparently, some shipments went missing, presumably stolen. Some of my products were part of it, so they needed me there to help identify them and help find them.
wow. Late. Very late.
Yes, you might notice the smell.
She walks a
think
little
they're-
bit closer. Oh,
Yes.
oh, by the gods. Whoa.
And I didn't even get the worst of it.
Someone else smell worse than you?
The squire of Lady Rosewood's husband, Lord Syraxis,
Oh,
uh,
the
he
Dragonborn.
got yes,
Hmm.
the squire got much worse.
Oh, that can't be good. I hope he's okay.
He seems to be doing better, although maybe he's a bit more disillusioned to the romanticism of adventure.
Well, I'm sure it won't discourage him too much if he actually wanted to do it. Plus, I don't know how long he's been a squire, but it seems like he's been doing his work and studying under Lord Syraxis probably tedious. It seems like a interesting man, at least. I got her accent completely wrong. I'm so sorry. I had an entirely different accent written down. I'll switch back to it. But you, are you okay?
A few burns here and there. We encountered fire elementals
Here in
and
Ardamon, really?
yeah, summoned by someone working with thieves, a drow man.
Oh, it's not common that you
We
see
were hoping
drow
to
down
take him
here.
alive, but well, someone else
Oh.
had a different idea.
Wait, did you commit murder?
No, I did not kill anyone.
Are you an accessory to murder?
In self-defense, I suppose. The drow was the one who had summoned all of the elementals.
Oh, no, that's fine. It's not like I was going to arrest you anyways. I'm currently off duty. Thank you.
Hmm.
But I came because I wanted to show you this. She kind
Oh.
of brings out a small bag, and you see her kind of unfold out of it what appears to be just a bunch of cupcakes. I made
Oh.
these earlier today, and well, father's not exactly one for sweets, so I thought I'd bring you some. But I arrived here, well, maybe like 7, 8 o'clock. You went around, so I thought I'd sit in, start reading, and now it's what time is it? She kind of looks out the door.
Late. Sometime perhaps a few hours past midnight.
Oh, that would explain why I'm so tired.
That'll
You okay?
do it. Yes. Oh
You're
no, I'm used.
all
I'm used to
dirty.
all-nighters. Yes, I need to take a bath. Maybe several.
Probably. Okay. You gonna be okay?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Alright. Take care of yourself, alright?
Of course, and I will enjoy those cupcakes. Thank you.
Excellent. Tell me how they are. This is like maybe the second time I've made them, so I don't really know how good they are. But enjoy. I'll see you
I
around.
will. Of course. Hopefully not so late next time.
Hopefully. Dad did say hello. In his own way.
Right.
You know.
I'll potentially be speaking with him tomorrow regarding these matters. Because, well, Eve's summoning a multitude of elementals down in the sewer is not good.
Probably not, no. Though, to be fair, seeing a lot more drow activity. Though I don't know if that's because of... Actually, no, that's not true. It's very rare to see drow around here.
I was actually working with the drow as well. Mr. Soros,
What?
a friend of Lord Syraxis.
Really? Wait, okay. Tell me. Is their skin actually beautifully purple?
Almost a sable color.
I don't know what sable is.
Just a second, and Darcy will pull out a strip of sable cloth from somewhere.
She kind of brings the candlelight closer. Oh. So, like, light purple.
Yes,
That's beautiful, really. Wow.
isn't it?
I would love to meet your friend. Friend? Coworker? How does that work?
They're not much of a talker, I wouldn't mind getting to know them better. They seem to be a holy man of sorts.
Oh. Wait. How does that work? Do they worship the gods up here, or?
I didn't think to ask. It seemed a little rude on a first introduction.
Ah, no, you know what? That is entirely fair. I can see how that would come off as rude. Next time, maybe I'll ask for you. I could be rude for you. Are they friendly?
They seem to be, although perhaps a little sad.
Oh. Well, I'll bring cupcakes for them next time.
That should perk them right up.
Excellent. But you have a good night.
And you as well. Go get some sleep.
No, you should be the one who's actually getting proper sleep. I sleep like a dead pig, during the day. I have no issues with it. But you, I know what you're like.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself, okay?
I'm trying.
Good. It's good to see you. It really is. Just gonna pull you into
No.
a hug. Don't go disappearing
Yeah,
on me
Darcy,
again.
Darcy
Okay?
will return it. I didn't plan to. Not without forewarning.
That doesn't make it any better. You know that.
I know, but sometimes there's not much of a choice.
Ugh. All right, fine. No more sappy. I gotta go.
Right.
I actually have to sleep for tomorrow's shift. Bye.
Good night.
And you see she leaves, and she is carrying like a bastard sword on her back as she walks out.
Yeah, that tracks.
But yeah.
Darcy will lock up the store behind her, draw down the curtains, all that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And
As you begin to draw the curtains, Zane, you managed to find his place.
I imagine he just appears in the window. Just,
Literally, as you're about to close the last curtain, you just see Zane's like reflective glasses looking at you through them.
You're not here to murder me, are you?
Well, quite the opposite, actually. I'm here to prevent you being murdered. So little things would be in order.
Oh, right.
Listen, Darren was following you.
Let's not do this with you out on the street. Darcy will open up the door for him.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Zane steps inside.
Okay, so Darren was following me, you said?
He wanted that notebook. This is very important to him.
Go figure. It's a business ledger. Such things are important.
And I made a deal with him where I would give him back his notebook at noon tomorrow
All right.
in exchange for information about who purchased those stolen dragon bones.
Well, that'll be useful.
Well, I believe Syraxis has bigger understanding of what's going on. I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I think it'd be best if you spent the night at Syraxis's residence. Just in case, Darren doesn't try to go behind my back and murder you in your sleep anyways.
I wasn't planning on sleeping tonight.
Excellent. Shall we?
No. Don't plan to. After all, if we're going to give him back his ledger, I'm going to make a copy.
Fair enough. Well, and then I just kind of shrug. Well, I did my part. Have a good night.
If you're so worried, you're free to stay the night.
Oh, you mistake me. I simply did just enough so that I wouldn't be down a party member, to get my money for this job. Nevertheless, I wish you a good night, and I hope to see you live tomorrow.
Worse things than Darren have tried to kill me.
And Zane kind of just heads out.
And Darcy will relock the door.
And you do. Yeah, but
Sets up any sort of security enchantments he might have had. He might have purchased over the years, like just an alarm spell or something. I don't know.
sure. We'll say you have an alarm spell on your door. Basically, if your door or any of your extremities are breached, you get a little tingle in your head.
Mhm.
It was expensive. It took a long time, but you got it. But yeah,
I've been in business for over 10 years. I've earned it.
yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, you kind of do you begin copying the notebook? What is it that you're trying to do for the evening or the night?
Yeah,
Morning?
Darcy is copying down primarily for the information like the last few months. He's not going to try and copy down the entire notebook. That's insane.
That's a little ambitious. It's a pretty thick notebook.
Yeah. He's copying down the most recent ones.
Okay. Just give me a intelligence check.
Just straight intelligence.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah. You get the majority of it, like 95% of all the information that you think is important. Over the course of like up until noon. Because though you do have a lot of time, you have like maybe 10-ish hours. It's hard to keep going for the entirety of that. And I also need a constitution saving throw because you are not sleeping for that night. You take a level of exhaustion.
That's fine. I was potentially going to end up with one anyways.
Entirely fair. But yeah, you go for a full all-nighter, but you get everything that you think is important copied into your own notebook. But the rest of you,
Darcy will
Oh,
just
sorry,
to
go ahead.
break up the monotony of copying stuff down as well. Darcy also does up artistic representations of the ooze monster we encountered down there and the copies that it made.
But yeah. And as we return to the other portion of the party, all of you kind of wander back. Zane eventually joining you as well. And where are you taking them, Saraxis?
I mean, I assume since it's so late, we're probably just heading back to my
manor?
place. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You get back to your manor. Sorry. You see a few guards kind of just standing in front, both your personal guard and the actual city guard. The city guard is just kind of wandering around in the area, patrolling. Some of them you're familiar with, some of them not. But your own personal guard kind of greets you. Welcome back, Lord Saraxis. Oh, you're bringing a group with you. Would you like me to notify the servants to prepare the guest rooms?
Yes, if they are available. Yes, please.
Yes, at this current moment, there are no guests, as far as I'm aware, that are staying over. So there should be 6 different rooms. Will you require a room for each of you?
Kind of
I would
glance
really
back
love
at a lot of
that.
them.
I mean, I guess
Yes, I require my own room.
I'm kind of used to roughing it, so it don't matter much to me.
Okay. You will not have to rough it much more. Or at least not while you're here. Lord Saraxis is a very wonderful host. I will go get those rooms prepared, sir. He kind of wanders back, and you can see he's just kind of like dragging his helmet and spear along, while the other guard kind of nods and holds open the or pulls open a slightly larger gate, which is like maybe 15 feet tall and about 10 feet wide, open. And as you kind of wander into the actual interior of this walled manor, you see that the interior is very, well, it's not terribly sophisticated. Off to the right side is what appears to be kind of like a garden. Well tended, well taken care of. You see a variety of different flowers and like grasses and things that are just growing at this current moment. A lot of them are shut or, not quite as brilliant as it would be during the day. But off to the other side, you see what appears to be, a small pond with a fountain, kind of decorative, before it leads to a larger actual building itself. A 3-story building, of which you very much call home, Syraxis, while the rest of you are like, wow, it's a pretty big place. Because it's a pretty big place.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Eclipse upon seeing that is like, you sure I can't just like rough it in this that I don't feel comfortable going in there like myself.
You'll be
That's a
fine.
big building.
Reggie, you've had a long day. Why don't you go take a shower, clean up your armor,
Yes, sir.
I've
see
been
you in the
very
morning.
nice all day. You smell awful in the
Oh.
nicest way possible.
I'll go get myself cleaned up. I'll see you tomorrow morning, sir.
We'll see what the plan is then, and I'll pat him on the back.
Mm-hmm. He nods and kind of wanders away.
I kind of like sit there and I don't move until like he goes upstairs and
Yeah, he
I
enters
wait
the
a moment.
actual he enters the actual manor itself because right now you guys are still outside in like the garden area, but you do see him kind of wander in and actually enter the building itself.
Yeah, see, like after a moment, I just let out a very long sigh. Oh. Well then, what a lovely turn of events.
So, would you like to discuss?
Why?
Or should we wait till tomorrow?
Well, you said Zane is back here, right?
Yeah, Zane's with you. Like he caught up with you guys, because you guys weren't like speed running all the way back to your manor. You were taking it easy, and Zane had no issue catching up.
Zane, is Darcy on his way, or is he still staying at his place?
He said he's gonna stay at his place.
Okay, well, then I suppose I will go over this very quickly. I kind of look around, and I'm like, I assume that people are like the guards and servants and whatnot are like, or at least not in the immediate area. And I'll just say,
Oh yeah.
The individual who has that marking on them is a former ally of mine, someone who once upon a time I would have effectively called my brother. He very radical in his worldviews, and very, very angry for many reasons. One of which, he was not a fan of my life path. He made some other very bad decisions and eventually got himself arrested for treason. Basically, he was still, by the time I went into my knighthood and was here, and in the early years of mine and Raylana's marriage, he was still out serving our kingdom as a soldier, and well, he did not like the order he was given once, and that is to say that he was ordered to retreat. He was not a fan of that, and so he killed his commanding officer. And then took over command. Obviously, that is treason. He was arrested. And him and a couple of people who were very close to him also were arrested and locked away. and we thought that would be the end of it. But a handful of years ago, he broke free. And normally that would be kind of, an issue, but not that big of a deal, considering that he would have no reason to really be here. He'd be a fugitive. However, on his way out, there was a troop of guards and individuals who tried to stop him. And one of the people in that group, or at least that got caught up in the mix of it all, is Raylana's older brother, Reggie's father. Which he died. He was killed as my former companion and apparently a lot of other prisoners. Slew anyone in their way, rioted out of the city, and left.
Gotcha.
And that was a handful of years ago. I have many questions as to why he would even be back here. Normally he would, I mean, he wouldn't be able to come back, I would imagine. He is a fugitive at the end of the day.
I mean, what? So he's just got that mark on him.
Well, yes, it's a tattoo.
So couldn't he just have, I don't know, gathered a group of people and they all used that symbol kind of thing?
Possible, yes. He did leave with a decent-sized group of prisoners.
So it might not be him.
Oh no, it's most certainly not just him that's there, but that is a symbol that was very close to him.
No, I get
to an
you, but what I'm
extent,
saying
yes.
is like it might not be him at all there.
Yes, he may not be there, but he is still behind this, and the fact that he seems to have sent people out to specifically take something from my family is not good. As I mentioned, he is a very angry individual. And I doubt he even realized who he killed in that riot, but like, I'm sure if he had the ability to, he would most certainly come here just to kill my family, just to spite me.
That is rough.
Which, Zane, the individual who you spoke to, he's not going to the meetup, right? To drop these items off, correct?
No, he specifically stated that he did not want to touch those
Oh, well.
bones, but it was his brother that wanted to take the job.
Oh, well, if his brother is involved in it, I hate to be that guy, but his brother is very likely going to die upon dropping that off.
It's a good thing he hates his brother, so I don't think he cares.
Oh, well, never mind then. But
Thinking
yes,
about brothers here.
much to consider. Much to consider. Well,
I understand why your wife would hate him, but I don't understand why he would hate you. What did you do to
as
spite him?
he didn't like that I broke away from our initial pact, so to say. We were soldiers together. We grew up together. And we went into war together, fought for years. And that was all he cared about. He loved war to an extent that he relished it. He reveled in dominating his enemies and breaking them down to a disturbing degree. And so when I eventually was offered a position as a knight and was basically leaving behind the lifestyle that he thought we would always have, he took it personal. We never really encountered one another after that, outside of the initial court-martialing of him when he, committed treason. But yes, a very angry individual. And I don't like that anything he has his hands in is this close to my family.
Do you know
Well-
why he would want the dragon bones?
That I do not know. I mean, I doubt this, but Jake, do I know of any reason why someone like him would want dragon bones outside of maybe making armor or weapon?
Give me an intelligence check. Actually,
Oh,
give me a history check for this.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, slightly better. We get a +1 bonus to that. Get vectored.
Honestly, you
Oh.
Oh yeah.
so close.
Hey, it could have been a
Honestly-
1.
You have
It
no
could've.
idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine maybe to make armor or weapons, but I don't know. Honestly.
It's okay. I don't know why I asked.
Dragon bones are a very ancient and powerful thing. Could be used for a lot of reasons.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure there are other reasons, but he's not exactly magically inclined in any capacity, as far as I'm aware.
I mean,
So-
you might get people who are.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that either.
So he's
But
working
I
with
don't-
the group potentially. So
Well, more they would be working under him, I would imagine. He's not exactly one to take orders very well, even when he was a soldier.
What if he really likes the orders?
Well, if he really likes them, then yeah, he'll do it, but not out of obligation.
if you really haven't talked to him in such a long time, do you really know if he has anything against you?
Huh.
I understand that you broke
He-
off and you ended your friendship, but enough to want to kill you and your family.
I know that the path I took is something that he detested, not only in when I was even considering it to begin with, but just on a fundamental ideological level. He despises stuff like this. He despises what he deems as a free pass in life. He despises what he believes is unearned power, which means that he would really hate Darcy. He would also really hate you, Saros.
Okay, I'm used to that.
Well, he wouldn't hate you because your race, I suppose I should mention. He would just hate you that in the sense that you were given a power. And for that, he would want you dead.
Darcy never discussed anything about where his power came from. He said he was skilled in bardic magics.
Yeah. If it ain't... Look, he would just hate you for having magic to begin with. Unless it was
that's a skill issue then, now isn't it?
unless you're like a wizard, I suppose. But even then, I don't know. But
More like a genetic issue, but
yeah, ancestor death, I guess. I don't know. But yes, no, he would just based off of how he thinks and what his ideals are. He very much hated everything that I would eventually become. He has a very barbaric mindset, shall we say, and a very narrow view of what life should be like and how things like power and strength should be obtained and utilized.
Gotcha. Oh, so extremely single-minded, which means that if we were to fight him by himself, it would just be raw physical prowess.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Which I'm sure doesn't sound that bad, but I have seen that man do some very, at the time would be impressive, looking back on it, very concerning feat.
Well, let's just hope we don't have to see that then. For a
Well,
while.
yes, I was about to say, I would imagine it's an inevitability at this point, but,
Well, I mean, it's an inevitability for you.
well, I mean, to be fair, honestly, I kind of just thought that he would just be roaming around somewhere in the Midlands. And that, we would never have to see him.
Hmm.
Like, I always had it in the back of my mind that if I did find them, something was gonna have to happen, whether it is me imprisoning him again or just finishing him off. But honestly, he at this point seems like he would be very much opposed to ever returning to any city without, the express intent of just raiding and destroying it as best he could.
Can there be no recourse? You were once brothers. Could you not?
He is
calm
very
down?
single-minded. Like, ideally, I would like to not have to kill him. I would like for him to come to his senses, so to say, and, repent for what he's done. But there are some things that are just so far out there that it's not really realistic to ever even consider.
Can I just say, it's very wild that we're learning all this, considering half of us met each other today.
Yes. The job's not done, I don't think.
Well, looks like we have a lot ahead of us.
Like, I imagine you people are going to be sticking around until we get the items back, which would entail us getting it back, presumably from, at minimum, one of his people, and at worst, him specifically.
I'm just, I guess.
But that's enough of that. I suppose, we should get some rest. I imagine we'll be going over that way sometime tomorrow to look into that.
You see the guard that had initially gone inside to prep the guest room come back out, kind of walk over. Sir, the guest rooms are prepped. One of the servants kind of tends to it. I need to get back to my post, but it's very good to see you. I do have to mention, sir, you do smell a little bit. I wasn't
Yes,
sure
yes,
if you were aware.
Yes, I'll be doing with that.
Okay. Sorry. Good day. He kind of nods at the rest of you before awkwardly shuffling back to his post.
Well. Let that not deter you all from getting a good night's rest, however. Please, make yourselves at home within that room. Or whichever room you've been provided.
Yeah, sure.
All right. And eventually, you guys all kind of settle into your various different rooms. Some of you more comfortably than others, while there is a bath also provided in the room next door to your rooms. They're not even rooms next door to your rooms. It's literally an attached bathroom. You guys have en suites. Like it's pretty nice.
Eclipse, absolutely has no idea how to run a shower or whatever.
It's not a shower. Like you already
Oh
have
my god.
like there's a tub of water that's already been prepped, and it's like before you enter, it is already basically warm. And it's not like burning hot, but it is quite warm as you kind of wander over it to it. It's steaming up a little bit. Like the actual guest rooms themselves are crazy nice. As you kind of walk into them, a full double like four poster bed kind of lingers with these draped sheets over it that kind of hang. There's these curtains that are drawn currently across what you can only assume to be windows. A great big dresser where you can see a variety of different kind of implements and such are placed. A big mirror on top of the dresser. There's like a wardrobe across from that, and then off to the other side of the room, there's the entire ensuite like bath ensemble. There's a full bath. There's like an actual kind of like semi-functional plumbing system within the same like place as well. Like it's crazy.
Well,
Oh boy. Man, I hate to do this again with nice rooms that we've been given. But I think Clips would truly just probably grab some sheets off the bed and just try to lay on the floor, maybe under the moonlight, in a like window wise. You know what I mean?
Yep, you kind of open up the actual curtains themselves. And yeah, you see it. You're like, okay, all right, cool. You take some of the sheets, and even the sheets are like way too soft.
It is so uncomfortable for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, you lay there and you're just like, oh God. Oh. Oh.
And it's just he is just not used to this.
Yeah, but you know, your little dragon birdo is perfectly happy. Oh, you see Autumn already like snuggled up on the bed, half asleep by the time that you kind of
Yeah.
even get into a kind of semi rigid position.
Autumn absolutely gets the bed, and I am fully fine sleeping on the floor underneath the window.
Yep. Eventually you do manage to fall asleep. But is there anything else that the rest of you would like to do before y'all pass out for a short rest?
nah.
Other than get the sewer smell out of me? No.
That's
I
another.
will assume that all of you take time to get the sewer smell out of you.
Does Darth-
Absolutely.
Do I have time to do that as well?
You probably actually wouldn't if you wanted to copy all of the information you wanted down.
He'll shave off like a. I'll shave off like a month of it to get a fucking shower, to get a fucking
Yeah.
bath in.
He's like, I'll just cut this off, and then you just stop, and then you go and do your
I don't need anything from 5 months ago. What the hell am I doing?
yeah. But yeah, eventually you kind of all fall asleep, and here is a prompted rest for a short rest.
That I'm not a part of.
I think it should come up. Wait, I just gotta double check it's the right characters. Yep, short rest. Boom.
Oh boy.
It's been offered to me. I'm going to exit out of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
One.
I see all those hit dice being rolled.
I need.
I was about to say, if you have the dice on your screen, it's just they're coming out from the
Yes.
from
No,
Oh
Manny.
God, there's so many.
Why can't I?
Yeah, no, like genuinely, Darcy's day is going to be giving the evidence, running the shop for the rest of the day, and going to fuck to sleep.
It
I
won't
guess
let
you
me
can
roll.
only. Yeah, I guess it only lets us do 4 since that's our level, even though we technically have 8.
Yeah, it
You
won't let me
probably
roll
just
the
have to
other
manually
4.
do them.
Yeah.
But do we get extra hit dice?
No.
You get as many as you have levels in a class. So you have
Uh-huh.
8.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna roll more.
I'm just gonna click finish for now.
Yeah, I'm full
Okay.
health.
Oh, this is gonna be rough. Do I use all of them because I'm half health?
That's up to you.
Oh,
You don't know when you'll
God.
get your actual long rest.
Exactly right. Fuck it, I'll save the D8s.
It's up to you. You can spend them.
And I just want to make sure, because I know that it's not happening. Autumn does not get hit dice, if I remember correctly.
No, I don't think so.
Because originally you would be able to unsummon your Drake Companion and then resummon it on a long rest.
Yeah. Would you be able to just pop that feature into the chat? I need to double check. It's the Drake
Or
mode,
thing.
right?
Drake Companion is what it's called, and I can bop. It did not. Oh, sure.
Oh,
There you go. That's a lot. Oh, the Drake has a number of hit dice equal to my Ranger level. Never mind. Let's go.
Hey, there you go.
Thank God. All right, 4d10 for Autumn, because Autumn. Actually, let's see how I do with 2. +2. Wow, that's unfortunate. So 17 plus 8. Oh my God, that's just enough for Max.
Hey,
Whoa.
let's go.
Autumn is out of the two of us, Autumn is doing great health-wise.
Yep, Autumn wakes up with full health. Oh yeah, I gotta roll
I
for
wake
Reggie
up-
because he's also a part of
I was
this.
say- I was just now thinking about that. Yeah.
He only has 2 hit dice.
Oh no.
Oh, holy hell!
How much health does he have?
A lot more than what 2 hit die can provide. That's for sure.
Oh boy.
You know
It
what?
looks like Reggie may be staying at home.
You know what? For Reggie, I will give him the same amount of hit dice that you have. But he will still have to spend his own hit dice to heal.
Would it be so? You could do the same thing that with Reggie that we do with Autumn. Like he could have like fighter level of Zaros equivalent or Syraxis equivalent hit dice kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly fine.
Like having 4, yeah, that way.
Yeah, so he would
He can
have
at least somewhat sustain himself.
Yeah, he would have a hit dice of 4.
Alright, I mean, I'll just go ahead and roll it for him.
Yep. You can keep track of that somewhere. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to be able to. I don't remember.
Oh wow!
If you just go onto his sheet, you can roll like his con mod, and that'll be his hit dice. Or no, that's not right. I don't know what I'm saying. D10 plus his con mod 3.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to put.
A little too much.
What was the number? He had 12 plus
29.
17. Yeah, 29, and then plus 6 is what I was trying to put.
Mhm.
The 35. And then I'll just roll another one just to see.
Hopefully he rolls decent. Right?
That would
First
be
2 were
nice.
pretty good. Oh, it's not bad. So he would have 1 hit dice remaining. You could put that somewhere in his inventory? Biography? Somewhere. I don't know where hit dice is recorded on this sheet.
I don't know.
Good question.
I'll probably just have him roll that last one anyways, and if he gets too fucked up, he'll just stay at home. Oh.
Oof.
That is unfortunate.
Well, could be worse. It could be worse.
Could definitely be worse. At least he's doing healthy.
How much health you got now, Andy?
Who, me?
You.
Or Reggie?
No, you.
I'm full health, baby.
Damn, you use all of them?
No, I still have a few left.
God damn, I'm jealous.
I rolled pretty decent. And I also I wasn't super low. I had like 20 health left.
I had 2.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Oh.
1. Why there?
Brutal.
Absolutely brutal. But yeah. Eventually, things happened. And in the morning, as all of you wake up, one thing to note is that when you had gone to bed, Syraxis, Raylana had definitely been already asleep. But by the time that you wake up, she is not around. You do see a
Yeah, I'd
note that
imagine.
is tidily written on the side of your dresser.
Now kind of get up and pick it up.
Yeah. As you kind of read it, you do see that she wrote, "Heading to the office early. Glad you made it out okay. You look really fucked up. You gotta give me a debrief."
Oh, what's that noticeable? Thought I took that shit like a tramp. Watch it. I was start getting my stuff on.
Yep.
Head downstairs.
As you kind of get downstairs, you can see that there's a few people that you very much recognize already downstairs. Let me double check something, just because I need to make sure I get the names right.
Is it technically the weekend, by the way, today?
It is Sarda, so yes, it is technically quote unquote the Saturday.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if everyone else is down there, but I'll be looking for Scarlet as well among them.
Yep. At that current moment, as you're kind of looking downstairs, trying to determine if Scarlet is there, you see at the kitchen table there is currently two figures sitting. You see Henrik sitting there, and a very, very tired-looking Scarlet downstairs as well as a few servants that are kind of just wandering around the area. As you get downstairs to the actual area itself, you see your father-in-law, Henrik Roseward, currently sitting in there at the kitchen table. Or sorry, not kitchen table. At the dining table, currently trying to teach Scarlet the merits of nutrition at breakfast. He's specifically speaking in regards to some, you've got to have certain types of balanced meals, Miss Scarlet. The food that you bring into your own system is that exactly the kind of output that you have. So you must eat healthy and you must remain healthy. And then you can see Scarlet is like half asleep, not even listening, currently trying to like get some potatoes into her mouth. So, yeah, Grandpa, yeah, healthy food, yep. Yep.
Geez, you look like you've been out as long as I was last night.
Hey, Dad. Hi.
Hello.
No, it was just young Miss Scarlet was up late last night studying. Though studying wouldn't really be the right word. It was studying. Come on, Grandpa. It's not that. She was reading essentially art books. Drawn of fantastical adventures by others.
I mean, I suppose in a way that, that is studying, just...
Yeah, see? Dad agrees.
Well, you didn't let me finish. I was going to say, not the academic variety, but, you know.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Grandpa said that reading is good for the mind. The stories you're ingesting are not. It was just cool stuff. It doesn't... Come on. It wasn't that... You are obsessed with fantasy hero. He's cool. He's kind of like Dad. See, I like Dad. Dad's a hero to look up to, right? Right, Dad?
I just give her a nod and also nod at Henrik.
See? It's... We can take this up later. For now, finish your breakfast. I have a few things I wish to discuss with your father. Alexis.
Henrik.
You kind of
No,
see
I
him,
kind of follow.
and he indicates you towards the hallway.
Yeah, I'll kind of step out.
Okay. You look, well, previously last night at the very least. Raylana said you were quite beat up when you came home.
It was... The sewers were eventful.
Sewers? What were you doing in the sewers?
That's where we tracked the supplies that were stolen.
Did you manage to find them?
No, but we found some of them. We have a good idea as to where the others went.
Some of them.
Yes.
Do be careful. I'm not sure what exactly it is that you're involved with, but you were quite beaten up last night, and that was not even you finding out everything, correct? Take it
Yes.
easy. I know you're strong, I know you're a warrior, I know you're capable. But you are still a humanoid. A living mortal, right? Don't test your limits.
But if like mortals and humanoids are on like a scale of like 1 to 10 on like durability and strength, I'm like at least a 9.
That is true. However, even a 9 is still mortal. Yes?
I suppose, yes.
You've been a good father
Or-
to Scarlet. Let's both make sure we keep it that way. Mainly because you can't really be a good father if you're dead. You know what I mean.
That is a good point.
Be careful out there. I worry for you. Raylana does too. Scarlet, I'm sure, thinks you're invincible.
She's mostly right. The others, did they by chance wake up, or are they still sleeping?
Who do you mean? Do you mean Reginald?
Well, I imagine he is. He had a rather rough afternoon as well.
He is actually already outside, polishing his armor, alongside the smith, Yoon. Oh, sorry, no, Mika, not Yoon.
Oh, yes, I suppose that is to be expected. No, I was meaning the guests. You were probably asleep when they came in. They were the
Yes.
others that were hired on.
As you say that, you see the guests kind of wander over. Who would be awake first? Who amongst you think you would?
I absolutely would be.
Yeah,
But I also think I probably got lost in the fucking house.
you see coming out from your kitchen, which is not where you expected him to come out of, one very confused looking Eclipse.
Whoa, where did you come from?
This place is way too big.
It's not even that big. This is like on the lower end of like nobility.
This is the lower end?
Yes, or just
And
barons.
I live in a place with one bed and like a door and whatever we need to survive. This is too much.
I see that your social standing is probably a little bit out there. Fantastic to meet you, sir. I am Sir Henrik Roseward, the previous proprietor of this house. He kind of extends his hand, and you see his this older gray kind of gentleman with these spectacles on his face, well combed hair, kind of very brilliant features, even in his old age. Kind of introduce himself to you. Eclipse.
Oh, I have to
He-
reload because no picture loaded.
he does extend his hand for a handshake.
Yeah,
Eclipse, no what a handshake is. He probably does.
I would assume so.
He knows enough to know what a handshake is. He's done.
Yeah,
At
he
least-
knows enough about basic society. It's just, rich people society that he knows absolutely nothing about.
Entirely fair.
Yeah, he will absolutely shake his hand. Eclipse Jade, is my name. And then this is Autumn, as Autumn is absolutely eating whatever we found in the kitchen on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Currently, you can see that Autumn is has like a black, charred black something in her mouth.
Hey,
Um,
I point at him and I'm like, hey, that's my charred ham. Ah!
you see Autumn start flying across the room, just like jumping.
He cannot fly yet.
Yeah. But more like half gliding, half flapping in the wings,
Absolutely.
just like running away from Siraxis.
That's my charred ham hock, you rat.
It's just like continuing to chow down as much as possible while running away from you.
Yep. And that's Autumn.
I see.
Ah.
That is a dragon, correct? Some form of one.
Yeah. I think it's more called a drake. It's not fully a dragon, but I think she'll get there eventually.
Is that something that you want?
I mean, she's gotta keep growing. It's not like I can stop that.
You do see how this comes off. You're aware.
Perfectly fine.
I am kind to guests, and I try to be. You are hosting a dragon. What is your tie to it?
Well, I mean, it is my, I want to say, partner, because that is probably the most equivalent relationship that we have.
A partner. Hmm.
I don't. You're acting like this is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, it's around these parts that is generally a very big deal. I was not aware it got bigger. I thought that was gonna be it.
I mean, she's gonna get bigger. It's not like she's still a growing creature, you know?
Are you
Hell,
aware of
my.
the history that dragons have in Illyria, or did you actually grow up behind a hut?
You know what? I think I'm gonna go. All right. Cool. Lovely meeting you. I think I'll probably find my own place to stay tonight. Thank you very much. And I walk out.
He kind of like
Wow,
holds the bridge of his
finding
nose.
Autumn first.
Oh, yeah. Autumn like jumps onto your shoulder, swallows the rest of the ham, and both of you just kind of walk out.
Yeah.
You see him turn towards you, Siraxis. Was it your idea, or was it your wife's to hire him?
To be fair, I feel like there's a Let's just say I met him before we left. The only one that I knew of going into this was obviously Cyrus.
Yes.
Well, and I guess technically Darcy. I've heard of him, but
And as much as I don't like to judge the company in which both you and your wife keep, or both you and my daughter keep, there is some concern that is merited for someone who totes dragons around like it's a pet. I'm sure you can see why.
yes, it was. It was very decently well behaved in the sewers.
It does not matter how well behaved or how tamed it appears. It's a dragon. It's wild. Do we need to go over the history lesson again, over the second plague? Dwarves
Oh no,
thought they could tame dragons. They thought they could control the entire essence of them. Why do you think they ended up so dead? I am saying this to be both your concern, my concern, and for my wife. Oh, sorry, for my daughter. For my daughter.
Whoa, what's happening?
Sweet home Alabama.
This is a slip of the tongue from my end, not what he actually said. Because I was thinking of this perspective from Syraxis. My daughter.
Yes, I know. I'll keep an eye on it in the future.
It's dangerous company to keep.
Yeah, I suppose so. But in times like this, sometimes that's what you need.
The next
Oh.
concerning party member in walks the sleep paralysis demon Zane.
You see the guy walk in with a mask.
Now that's
no,
the one I'm a bit more concerned about.
You're concerned about someone wearing a mask. Though he is hiding his identity. Henrik Rosewood. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I
Say
extend
hi,
his hand
Zane.
towards you, Zane. Serial?
He fucking died.
I'm dead, bro.
Oh, no, he's here.
Oh.
Yeah, he kind of extend. Would you have stayed the night? I'm guessing you would have.
Yes.
But yeah, you kind of show up. He extends a hand. Henrik Rosewood.
Zane. He just ignores the hand.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's an image I can think of. I doubt I'll be able to find it.
Some very interesting company you've decided to hire. May I know about,
Oh yeah, here.
about yourself, Mr. Zane?
This is Syraxis watching Zane as he ignores the hand, just staring at him, like kind of leaning in a bit.
May I know a bit about you, Mr. Zane?
To what extent would you like to know about me?
Why you took this job, I guess?
The pay.
One of those. Fair enough. At the very least, easier to understand than the other one. You don't have any dragons on you, do you?
I do not. If I did, I would have sold it a long time ago.
You know, I think I already like him better than your other friend. Companion. At least he can be trusted with coin. Yeah, and at that point, I'm guessing Soros and Celesta would probably show up. Unless either of you are staying in very late.
No, I think Saros
Um,
has already been up for a while because he only needs 4 hours of rest. But I think he would have probably found somewhere to people watch, but like away from people, like a balcony or something.
Okay. Yeah. Eventually, you also see Soros come in, but from upstairs rather than downstairs. And to be fair, I think you probably would have met quite a few of the individuals already, just because you are kind of as a guest. You do see Henrik give you a light, polite nod. Mr. Soros, good to see you.
Good as always.
How are you doing? Everything in order?
Well, as well as it can be. Still not a big fan of being in a city, but always appreciate being able to stay here.
Well, you're welcome to stay. As long as you need. You've been a
Thank
good
you.
guest.
I try to be.
Excellent to hear. He says, kind of like glaring towards Zane at that moment. Oh. No introductions needed here, but who might you be? Celesto, he kind of directs towards you as you walk in.
Wait, before I get up, I want to cast Find Familiar
Oh,
since I got some components from the sewers.
right. I think you did find some components for Find Familiar.
I got 2 sets.
Yes, and you would
I'm
have used
gonna
one of those
use-
sets. What would you like to summon?
Yep.
I want to summon a fox that is the same color hair as Lesto.
Oh, okay. So like a brilliant red.
Yeah, fiery red.
Okay. Yeah. Very easily you manage the kind of summoning ritual before you come downstairs. This kind of fiery, sleek looking fox appears as all the materials get consumed. It kind of looks
So
at
I'm
you.
gonna have like a what Disney movie like the villain has like their pet as a scarf.
Sure. It jumps up onto your shoulders and just kind of like rests there.
Yep.
And you see it like partially wrapped around your neck. Its legs are just kind of dangling, and it looks at everything that you're looking at, kind of. And it's strange, but you do come downstairs. You have a new scarf.
Oh, greetings. I don't believe we're acquainted.
No, I don't believe we are. Nice to meet you. I'm
Yeah.
Henrik Roseward.
Pleasure. I'm Celesto Farhold, son of Carleth and Primora Farhold. Maybe you've heard of them?
Oh, I have actually. You're their child. Huh. I didn't know they had a child.
Yes, well, they do like to be up and around, so
Free spirits,
they
as it
may.
were.
Yes. You might not have seen me with them, but
Well, it's
I have me.
been almost a dozen years since I've seen them, so it probably comes as no surprise. Well met, and good to know. Your parents
Yes,
are
quite.
wonderful people, and I will assumedly that you are as well. Hopefully. Right?
Yes, they are the greatest in the world, in fact.
A wonderful child they've raised. Now, I do have to question, what brings you to Ardalon? It's not exactly in the way of the adventurers, and though wild as the Farugan Wilds may be, it's not exactly super unexplored.
Oh, actually, I was recommended to come here by my mentor and godfather.
Oh. For what specifically?
Well, I told him I wanted to become an adventurer like my parents, and he had a massive headache. But I convinced him, and he directed me here because he is familiar with your daughter.
I see. Well, that's good to hear. Well, it seems that certainly you've taken to the job quite well. Welcome to Ardalon, I suppose.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice of you.
Please enjoy some breakfast while eventually we kind of please. He kind of indicates this way, and you see a towards the actual kitchen table where Scarlet has just been silent and like staring at this group that's come into the kitchen. She's like, oh.
Yes, yes. Yes.
They're so cool. Who are they?
Well, I mean, you can say hi if you want.
Hi, I'm
I
Scarlet.
don't think they bite.
This is my dad. He's cool.
Can't you see the resemblance?
Ho ho.
You see her pull like
Right.
a mean face, and bare her fangs, which you do see that she actually does have like very sharp canines.
Says, would you like to introduce the lovely lady?
What?
I'm Scarlet. This is my dad. I
Hey,
introduced
Scarlet.
myself.
Yeah, she's a big
Hi.
girl.
Oh, it's so
Hello.
nice to meet you. I never thought your father had a child.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a dad, does he? He's too
No,
buff
he
and
does
strong.
not.
Look at them. She kind of like hangs off of your arm for a little bit. Alexis.
Yeah, I just kind of like glance down. I don't imagine she's that big, so I'm just like
No.
holding my arm out.
She is one very short. She's like maybe 4'6", 4'7" at this current moment, and still growing. She's pretty skinny and yeah. But yeah. Hi, Scarlet. Sorry, I already said that already. Nice to meet you. I like your mask. Felix says towards Zane. No. What did I say about talking to strangers? But they're not strangers. They're Dad's friends. Strangers nonetheless. Come along, Scarlet. We've got work to do. But I'm not even done my breakfast. We can bring it along. Come. Oh, okay. All right. Nice to meet you all. See you around.
Yes, hopefully we'll be back. Make good decisions.
Okay. Bye, Dad. Have fun.
We'll try.
Yeah. Eventually, you guys are kind of left there alone with some food.
Ooh. Oh, it's hard to tend to be more noble and use manners. Oh, my goodness. Oh. You have to do that every day, Siraxis?
And do what every day.
Yeah, God. Talk like nobility. Paid.
Man has
Upright.
not talked like a noble once since we met him.
Yeah, I'm a little confused here. I don't think I like. I mean, don't get me wrong. By all accounts, by legal and title wise, I am a like baron, but I don't feel like I go out of my way to speak or act like one most of the time.
Oh, that's good. Because I could not handle it. I like to talk, but I do not like to talk like that.
Like
Can you
what?
believe having to watch every single word you say, because it could indirectly insult the noble? Can you believe it?
Sure.
Ah, so what's the plan for today?
Well, I imagine that whenever should the young Darcy find his way back over here, I suppose we'll go looking at where this supposed drop off that Zane heard of. Is that maybe you exploring in to
By
the
the
sewers
way,
if needed?
just out of curiosity, just a reminder. The deal that Zane made with Darren was to meet with him at noon, right?
Yep.
Yes.
You might want to look at the time.
Well, I was more meaning the drop
Not-
off of where the
That's
items
already
were.
happened.
Yeah, no, I'm aware, but still,
Well, can't
I don't care what he
personally-
does with this drop off of the item or the book or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
That's
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
But Siraxis, as you're kind of glancing around, you realize, wait, the sun's really high. You glance outside and it's almost noon.
Say, Zane, what time did you say that thing was going on at?
Noon.
I kind of like look outside, look back at him, look back outside.
You do have a clock on your wall.
Yeah,
A clock
I was about to say I get up and like walk over and kind of look at the clock and kind of think for a moment.
Yeah, it's 11:15.
That's like in 45 minutes.
Should we hightail out of here?
Should be enough time to go to Darcy's, pick up the journal, and then run back to the meeting spot.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Darcy's already had enough time to go and deliver all the fucking evidence because he never went to sleep.
Well,
Yeah.
we might want to start heading that way. Hopefully traffic will not be as bad.
As you wander out of your actual manor itself with the group in tow, you do see that the surroundings of the city is much more lively. The city of Ardalon very much is kind of alive during the day. Oh, who would have guessed? There's a lot of foot traffic currently around the District of Magic. Aside from the residential areas, there is also a few schools. Some of them for just generic learning, some of them for arts, some of them for bardic magic, and some of them for specifically magic. And you can see quite a lot of students kind of wandering here and there, all of them wearing these deep black robes, and some of them kind of like having like sweaters and other things on top because of how it is. The weather outside at this current moment is a little bit chilly. Thankfully, around Ardalon it never freezes, but it is kind of cooling down to just a couple degrees above 0. But yeah, as you guys are wandering out towards where Darcy's place is, Zane, do you lead them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and without too much of an
Question.
issue. Oh, what's up?
Have they come to find me?
Mm,
I was absolutely not a part of any of that
They weren't
conversation.
there.
I left.
I mean, I'd imagine I'd like look around
okay, you
in
look
like the
around.
immediate area.
Are you
I don't know
around
where-
Eclipse?
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be in the very immediate area. Absolutely not. Not after that conversation.
Do you do anything as you wander out into the actual city itself? Like, are you just wandering in, or are you just like, is there anything specific that you're doing?
So I don't think he would have specifically wandered in to the city itself, but he's probably just kind of like truly found a tree somewhere and has posted up against it, sitting down and just petting his dragon.
Okay. Okay. Roll me a D100.
Oh, sure, nothing, no problem.
As we're like walking out, I'm just like, admittedly, I don't know where the other cat went.
Straight
Oh.
middle.
Wow.
Middle of the line.
Smack dab in the middle. I was gonna say lower is worse, but that is exactly 50. That's crazy.
Exactly in the middle.
Okay, yeah. You get not a lot of attention, surprisingly. Maybe it's due to the cool weather and people just trying to hurry to where they're supposed to go. But yeah, you're kind of just ignored for the most part. But at one point, you do see a pair of like younger students, probably older teens, stop. They're just kind of like staring at you. You see both of them are kind of like teenage boys. One has medium shoulder length hair. The other one has like short cropped hair, and they're just kind of whispering between one another as they're very, very much glancing your way. Even if you didn't have a passive perception of like over 20, you would have spotted them very easily. It's not like they're trying to hide necessarily, but they're like not trying to draw attention to themselves. Are you able to read lips? I don't think you are.
I absolutely. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely,
right, yep.
am.
Yeah, as you're reading their lips, you can see them like kind of whispering to one another or trying to. One of them kind of like covers his mouth every once in a while, so you get like jumbled conversation, but it's basically Yo, is that a fucking dragon that guy's got? Nah. No way that's a dragon. That's like probably some sort of like hyped up lizard, man. Like, there's probably like some crazy shit around here, you know? This is just magic, right? They probably got like familiars and shit, right? I mean, it doesn't look like any pseudo dragon I've ever seen. I think it's fucking massive. And it's golden. And it looks like leaves. No. It's a pseudo dragon. Trust me, bro. Trust me. Okay, like, but what if we go ask? What the fuck? Why would we go ask? That's basically the essence of the entire conversation that they're having, as they are
Cool.
very much still staring at you. But, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. What's going on?
yeah,
Oh,
Oh, general chat.
good.
Emily is such a lovely art.
It's good.
Oh, fucking hell. That's so good.
Oh no! Well, I know what my talking image is gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, that's great. Oh, damn.
Eventually
okay.
we need to just have these on a slideshow at the beginning.
Deal. Done. Easy. Oh, I'll put these in some slideshows. I'm done. Holy crap. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
But yeah, as you kind of get these looks, thankfully you are ignored for the most part.
Yeah.
Eventually, kind of, the rest of you, Siraxis included. Thankfully, you do actually walk by the tree that Eclipse is currently posted at, so you do see him. Do you want to engage, or do you want to just leave him there?
Who sees him?
You see him.
Oh, I think I found him. Hold on. I'll kind of like walk up.
Yes. Eclipse, you see Siraxis walk up to you. You've been like
Yeah.
looking in his general direction for the last like almost 5 minutes, and he only just
Absolutely.
now spotted you.
You coming along, young Eclipse?
Yeah, if you still want me, I guess.
Hey, I mean, I have nothing against you. Look, the old man, he's a bit, you know, he's old, very determined in his ways. It's best to just not take him personal most of the time.
Uh-huh. Cool. Yeah, well, I'm still finding somewhere else to sleep, so.
I mean that's fine. You know, just he again very set in his ways.
Yeah, sure.
So we're heading over somewhere. Where are we heading?
I don't get it. What's the difference? You're literally a dragon person.
I kind of think for a moment. Well, yes, I suppose technically. Look, I'm not an expert in like, you know, historical matters or anything like this. I just know that, you know, us Dragonborn, we typically we don't care for, well, things draconic either. You know, it's a rocky relationship. So that's why he's probably fine with, you know, myself and other Dragonborn, is that we have a common enemy in well, the dragons of old.
Okay, yeah, see, that's where I'm confused, because you just said dragons of old, right? Autumn was made recently by magic.
I don't doubt it, but he probably doesn't know that.
Well, it didn't take him long before he just immediately, pretty much, spat in my face. So,
Well, yeah. Again, it's just I don't know. He's a wise man once said, it sometimes it just do be that way.
it's so strange because, obviously I've had looks. People look at me, obviously, It's not something common to just kind of be carrying around, a little scaly friend. No one's done anything about it yet. If it's that bad, why haven't they just, killed her or me yet?
Yeah, I mean, I don't quite understand the hate towards the little creature. But it's just how it is for some people. Honestly, I would have assumed that this is like something that you've dealt with plenty, honestly.
No. I've just literally recently come here. My wife and my mother-in-law are the ones who taught me how to do this anyway.
Huh.
But of the I don't know, Midlands or whatever the fuck it is down here.
The
It's
South.
not exactly something I wanted to do, but it's something I had to do. All right. I guess let's get going.
Yes. I kind of pull out my pocket watch and look at it. We have like 30 minutes, give or take. Zane, you do know where you're going, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Wait,
that's
sorry,
good.
how long does it take to get there?
20 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna be cutting it close.
This is 20 minutes, including to Darcy's shop and back to the square, so you should be fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're
Uh,
pretty close then.
But yeah, about 15 minutes later, you guys manage to arrive at Darcy's shop, where as soon as you open the door, you see an extremely tired Darcy kind of like look up at you with these dark circles underneath his eyes.
He's just sort of behind the counter currently.
No, Darcy, what
Oh,
do they do to you?
look. Hmm.
You get
Just sort
hit
of
by...
tilts his- Oh,
I'll
right.
do like
You're here for the here. He just passes you the notebook.
I like analyze him, like if he got hit by like a spell or like some type of
Give me an
sickness.
Arcana check.
I'm like, what's wrong with him?
He is influenced by one spell known as exhaustion.
No, like cast some type of spell to give you exhaustion.
It's terminal.
What in Blue Blazers are you talking about?
Well, clearly, someone somehow
I
affected you
pulled
with
an
exhaustion.
all-nighter. You overthink so many things.
Pulled an all-nighter? I
Yes,
understand.
preparing
You
the
choose not to sleep?
evidence. Yes, I chose not to sleep.
Have you never not chosen to sleep?
No,
I have chosen on several occasions to forego sleep because I wanted to get something done.
I was told if I don't get my full hours of sleep, my teeth would fall out and my hair would also I would go bald.
How old are you again?
24?
Well, I'm 30,
Uh,
so do with that what you will.
Does he have a bald spot?
He
No, he does not.
does not. His hair actually looks fine.
Oh. Oh, you're not
uh,
balding. Yeah.
It's a little wet from the shower he probably took, but aside from that, it's fine.
pulling all-nighters doesn't kill you.
It, although as it's been stated before, he does appear to have several like locks of gray hair.
At 30, which is strange to him at least.
Yeah, I kind of like lean forward and kind of look at him. I'm like, how old are you, young Darcy?
I'm 30.
Oh boy.
Huh.
You did not age well.
Well, that's
Yikes.
extremely rude to just say.
And
Oh,
to be
sorry, did I say that
fair,
out
I
loud?
only started looking like this about a year ago. It was a rather arduous time.
No, I'm lucky that I don't gray.
Hmm.
Does make me wonder though if Scarlet will gray eventually. Hmm.
Is she humanoid or draconic like you?
She takes after her mother for the most part.
Then likely yes. And that's not a bad thing.
Sounds like something that someone who grays would say.
Well, you can't tell me that there aren't individuals with graying hair that do not make it look absolutely fabulous. I'm not saying I do, but
I mean, I've lived with it my whole life. I think I look pretty
Yeah,
good.
that was about to
Precisely.
say. Cyrus is pure white hair.
Well, your hair is more white as opposed to gray.
Well, some people do develop more white hair than grey hair in their old age. And regardless, and if I may say so, Saros, you do look fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Well, we better hurry along to this
Hmm.
location,
Mm,
lest they go killing you.
Oh, you mean... Question. Zane made it sound like he got all the information he actually could out of Darren.
Yep.
So all of us going there to meet him isn't going to accomplish anything.
I wouldn't expect you guys to literally follow me to the meetup.
Besides, I have evidence to provide to the guards that they can perform a full sweep of the sewers and determine whether or not to provide a warning regarding the creature we encountered.
Okay, so we could split up and start conducting a search, and then some can do some tasks.
I don't know what part of me saying that made it sound like I was going to be going back and searching those sewers.
Oh no, we're gonna search for the mark. Didn't Zane brief you?
It said something about a mark, said Syraxis knew more about it. The
Yes,
problem
yes.
is, the problem is, we were all just about torn to bloody pieces last night. Confidence aside, my magic's also running low.
I mean, we should still try and learn as much as we can.
I'm
You
not.
know, if
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but there's other things I need to run around and do. For example, I need to get my cargo that was stolen back to Lady Rosewood so they can be properly sent out. I also need to just find the little apology pieces for the delay.
well, we can figure out what the next course of action is after this apparent meeting.
I have an idea. Any?
Well,
Darcy goes wandering to the back of a store. There we
I'm
go.
sure whatever ideas you come up with will most certainly be better than anything I can come up with.
Mm.
Full disclosure, I may be technically the person in charge, I say with quotations. But you know, when it comes to decision making, and it's not combat and like battle related, I'll let you all handle that sort of thing.
I
Grab
suspected
Reginald.
that would be the case.
Do what?
Did we grab Reginald?
Oh shit!
Did we?
You leave him behind.
I mean, I never grabbed that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have.
It's fine. It's fine. After the meeting, I'll get him later.
Yeah, I just kind of figured we're one guy down.
Look, he can handle himself, but I doubt anything crazy will happen from this little meeting. I say, looking at the camera. I doubt he'll miss out on anything.
If he does, then you will simply need to catch him up to speed.
Yes, and
And
plus
if
he
you
was.
By the way, since I'm in the middle of grabbing apology gifts, would you like one so that you can have something ready in case he's a little put out by the fact that you forgot him back at your home?
Oh no, it's fine. I'll just whenever we get
Right.
back, he was outside. He was doing some training and was also having his armor fixed up by one of our smiths. So I'll just say that I thought he was preoccupied.
If you're certain. I just thought that he might like something like this. As Darcy will come back with 3 carved wooden figures of 3 different individuals. One of whom wearing all black with sort of bluish skin, wielding 2 long swords.
Interesting figure. Very interesting figure.
Man, I hate blue people.
Another one appears to be a
Honestly.
woman in a long green coat with a feathered hat, wielding a halberd.
How intriguing.
That is a very
And-
tacky looking hat on both of them.
Imagine wearing green.
Try going on.
And and another one is a pale elven individual wearing a half mask, carrying a rapier.
That guy looks like
fucking
he's
creep,
trying
Entirely in
bro.
black.
What
That
a
guy looks
fucking
like
creep,
he's-
bro.
That guy looks like he's trying too hard.
Yeah. What's he trying to be? Come on.
Himself, clearly.
It looks like a half-baked Zane, am I right?
Can Zane would just blink at you.
I
Blinks
mean, I don't know
menacingly.
that you fucking blink. I just stare at you.
He's literally wearing a mask. He just looks at you.
I mean, at least you can tell when this guy blinks. You know?
Yeah. Well, what if he alternates? Then
Well.
it's not really blinking; he's winking.
Yeah, exactly. It's not considered blinking now, is it?
No,
Yeah.
this is.
I don't get. Why don't you just get a full mask, right? If he's trying to hide something, it's just
Yeah, like
I-
just commit to it.
yeah.
Yeah. And plus, like a full mask offers more protection than like half. Like, what if that's your dominant side that you don't have masked up and you get like hit by something? That's be pretty bad.
I don't know. Maybe it
Get
was
it.
like a character choice or something.
I don't know,
Maybe he
What
took
if,
it
like-
off in this real big character moment.
Well, I feel like he didn't need the mask, but he only wore it as like a symbol of like, some past mistake or trauma that happened.
That would be ridiculous. Why would anyone
Yeah,
do
that'd be
that?
that'd be
He's definitely
stupid.
trying
I
to
look
hide.
insane.
That'd be totally ridiculous.
Forgot.
Very interesting.
But yeah, so we'll pick up young Reginald after the meeting.
All right. Well, if you're certain you don't want to give this to him,
Well, I mean, I can give it to him. It's fine. I'll like hold a hand up.
Darcy will pack them away in small boxes, and hand. Which one do you think he'd like more?
Yes.
Very well. Here you go. And I'll pass him the twin sword wielder.
Man, he looks like he goes fast.
He looks like a badass like me, just personally, weapons are a bit light, but
You know,
each
I'm
their
gonna
own,
be
I suppose.
honest. I'm looking at this figure. I get the feeling his mom told him he wasn't gonna die.
It's funny you should say that. Actually, never mind. I can't say that. I never knew my mom.
Oh, sorry.
Does that mean you're gonna die?
I guess, yeah.
I'm
My
right there
dad-
with you, so don't worry.
My father died before he ever told me anything like that too. So I mean,
Everyone.
I don't know. Actually, I mean, my mother might still be out there. I don't know. Yeah, I never really knew her. I just know she's a bronze dragonborn.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
anyways.
hear that because my parents are amazing, and
Well, it's
I
just
wish you had met your
it's a dragonborn thing. It's not actually that big of a deal. It's just kind of how we are.
Is that just a psychological tick of yours? Every single time a parent is mentioned, oh, my parents are the best.
Oh, but it's just
Yeah, do you do that? Do you do that if you go to an orphanage? All them kids are just like, man, I wish I had parents. You're just like, yeah, my parents are the best.
well, I mean,
Yeah, it does seem a little insensitive depending on when you drop that.
not like I'm trying to do that. It's just a fact, I'm just stating facts.
Oh, okay.
It's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact.
I mean,
that my
it's
parents
a
are the
fact that could break you in half, but I don't go saying it at every possible moment that someone mentions breaking something.
best. No, but I just mean, my parents are world-renowned adventurers. And
Yeah,
they've done
we've
so much in
heard.
the world.
I have never heard of your parents in my life. So they're
Zane,
clearly
I have no
not
idea
world
how long
renowned.
this conversation is going to go. You might as well go meet Darren.
You have the notebook, Zane.
Yeah.
He
Do you leave?
disappears without us ever knowing.
Already left.
Okay, yeah. While they're in the midst of having this conversation, Zane, you leave to go deliver a note.
Does he sneak away or does he like?
It's just
Do
like
I know he's
Batman
left
disappears.
me?
Give me a stealth check.
I don't sneak away. I just walk.
Okay, then yeah. Like, he just struts away.
Cool.
Oh, we should probably follow him.
You
I
don't need to follow him.
yeah, I think he'll
Again,
be
Darren
good.
said, from what I understood, Darren told us everything. We're more
Well-
likely to get more information from the guards if you bring that symbol to them.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I imagine at some point while we're walking, you tell Darcy about that whole thing that you told everybody else as well.
Yeah, I mean, Syraxis probably would have also drawn up like a more accurate look of what the symbol would look like.
Okay. So
To the whiteboard!
yeah,
Oh boy.
the guards are more likely to be a better form of information than a thief who wants nothing to do with anything.
Well,
that.
my only my only concern with bringing this to the guards is that they might see it and they might just naturally assume that it's Doran who's the one kind of.
He's an escaped megalomania.
He's what?
That's You said he escaped.
Yes.
That's kind of important for them to know.
Well, yes, they already know he escaped. It was a pretty big deal.
Yes, but if it's important for them to have any leads to catch him, to imprison him again.
However, this is unverified information. That's just an assumption that we made. If they go after him because they think he did this and he was not involved,
He should
And-
still be arrested.
You see, yes, I agree. However, I would rather not send a bunch of guards to their immediate demise, or even bounty hunters.
Right, because we do so well.
Well, I would, but
You
neither here
wouldn't.
nor there.
If he's as bad as you're saying, you probably wouldn't.
I feel like he and I are about on par. He's just a bit more primal.
Out of curiosity, when did you say he escaped?
Like 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Okay. I was just confirming. And you don't think that in those 6 years, he might not have gotten stronger?
I mean, I certainly have.
And he potentially has a small army with him.
Yes.
Also, probably of more murderous psychopaths.
Yes.
And you are under the assumption that you would do fine going up against them.
Well, not that I would do fine, more that I don't want to, subject anyone else outside of myself to that. I will admit I feel partially responsible.
Something tells me, no offense, this is not a condemnation of your skills. You're one of the more capable fighters I've seen. But I get the distinct impression he would rip you apart. Just something in the universe is telling me that.
I mean, not unlikely.
He wants Dragonbone for some.
Yes, this is very, very concerning.
That's not.
But I'm also a bit. I'm
If he
also a
has
bit more
them-
concerned that he knows, like, that him sending this out or even ordering something like this to occur implies that he knows where exactly my family is located, which is the more pressing matter for me.
And yet, for whatever reason, you do not want the city guard, individuals who are trained exactly for this, to assist.
Yes. You said it yourself. Over the 6 years that he's been free, he's most certainly got stronger. And keep in mind, when he first broke free originally, they slaughtered just about everyone who was in their path.
I'll have to give this to Axis. I don't believe the guards here are quite equipped to handle.
They are most certainly not equipped to handle him. Like, their armor would not even be able to begin to slow him down.
And yours was poked full of holes by a bunch of elementals last night.
Yes, but you see, I'm a
It's
beast.
still melted in place.
My armor may not be able to handle it, but I certainly can.
Just on a note,
Right.
Darcy, there's very few exceptional individuals in the guard. Your father is one of them. There's a few others who are lieutenants and kind of higher up who are also exceptional people. you would know that they are kind of the people who would actually be able to handle things like this. However, they're very few and far between and extremely busy. The majority of the actual guard populace is they're there to be a little bit better than they're little better than actual civilians because all they have is just a spear.
Yeah, but this is
compared
from
to
a
normal
civilian
person.
mindset who doesn't know what the fuck is going on here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just making sure that you're aware.
And is somehow being roped into potentially fighting this freak of nature.
He is, well, let's just put it this way, right? I'm a very tall Dragonborn. I am tall for my kind. Would you believe me if I told you that Doran is like a bit taller than me and probably has a lot more muscle mass than I?
Yes, from everything you've described, yes.
He is quite literally a genetic freak of nature. He even has a tail. I don't know how to feel about that, but he does.
Are you sure he's a dragonborn and not a half dragon? There's a difference with those.
No,
right?
no, he's a Dragonborn. I mean, aside from the tail, you know, he's basically the same.
Hmm. Something tells me the more draconic features, the more actual power they have.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't doubt it.
You know, I
But-
have heard of a research study on based off that.
Huh?
What, did your parents run that one too?
No, but they do know the person who did it.
Why am I not surprised?
Yes. Well, they didn't have any real dragons to study, of course, but there were some conclusions with the amount of the power they could hold based off the draconic features. There was a correlation. So it's possible.
Well, regardless, again, he's my responsibility. So if there's anyone who is going to deal with him, it's going to have to be me, and I'll do it alone if I have to. I don't particularly care either way.
Give me a
Let's
history
just hope-
check, Celesto.
Let's just hope he's nowhere in the city.
Oh, I mean, if he was in the city, it most certainly would have already been caught. He
Huh.
is a
Oh
Hey.
shit.
he is a treasonous fugitive. Wow.
Okay, give me 1 second. I need to pull the sentry up that you would have access to.
Oh Jesus.
Turns out, Dragonborn with tail, half dragon. We're fucked.
And no, that is not the entry. It is a specific person that he would know of in Freereach that actually you had mentioned on an offset. This is probably the same person that your wife was trying to send parts to, specifically the dragon bones. Sorry, I'm trying to find the fucking entry. Is it here? Sorry, you have to give me a moment. You can keep conversing. Sorry. Ah, here it is. Boom. This person. You, Celesto, would remember their name as Illifa Nildara. She is a professor at the Freereach Academy and is the utmost expert on the biology of dragons. She is one of the professors at the Academy of Commons. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yes, exact person I was thinking about.
No, they were the most likely recipient of the dragon bones before they were intercepted. I don't suppose you have a means of contact. Huh?
I do not.
I left my long range telepathy in my other armor.
Oh, speaking of leaving, what happened to the drow corpse?
Oh yes, I put it back in the sewer.
You just left it
Why?
there. Can you do that?
Well, I hid it away.
I don't know if that's better or worse, but okay.
I mean, we can go get it if you want.
No.
Did you talk to Lady Rosewood about the potentiality of the Speak with Dead spell?
You see, no, because we returned rather late. She was already asleep. So
And
we went to sleep, and then when we woke up in the morning, she was gone. And then we had to quickly make our way over that way. That way Zane could do this whole little thing.
As you look behind you, you see that Zane is not there.
Well, wherever he went.
He's likely going to go meet with Darren to give him the book so that Darren can flee the city.
Well, I mean, when we go back to get Reggie, I mean, might as well be for Lana.
I'm going to the guard post so I can turn in evidence.
Well, do you want to do that, and then we can go back, get Reggie, and then I can ask her that? Because really, from this point, I feel like the main thing is to just try and find whoever the items would have been handed off to or sold off to. Assuming they're even still here in the city.
Oh, it'd be hard to backtrack. I mean, all they do is drop it off.
What would help us if it were possible to track Darren's brother. Find him, capture him, question him, if he's even still alive.
Well, that does. Whenever, or rather, I guess Jake, you can answer this. When Darren or whatever his name is mentioned that symbol, he did say that like they were dropping the items off, or that they were specifically handing it off.
They'd already dropped the items off.
It was a drop off that had happened in the past, is how he described it, or how he had implied it, because he said, "Yeah, this was where we dropped it off."
Gotcha.
Or I think I think he had actually said we had already dropped it off here, or something like that.
Oh, did he actually give a location as to where it is?
Yeah.
Where the drop off was?
Yeah. He said.
Yeah, he mentioned the place.
He
I
mentioned.
completely missed that.
Yeah. So he basically said it was a building labeled like a building with this mark on it in the southeastern portion of the District of Wine.
Yeah, that's why I was saying we should probably like go looking in that area for it at least, because even if it was dropped off, if it was a marked location, like we can still do something with it, even if they're not specifically there, or the items aren't specifically there.
Yeah, I completely missed that. I was wondering where the fuck do we go from here? Like, where?
Yeah, that's why you kept saying that.
This
And I was like,
confidence that we're gonna find information anywhere.
That's why you kept saying that. And I was like, I don't know, man. That's what he said. This is going off what the guy said. Like, he said it was marked. But I wanted to
realize a
go
location was given because he said he had wanted nothing to fucking do with it.
Then yeah, with that confusion out of the way, then do we want to pick up Reggie? Maybe ask my wife about speaking with Dead, or just go there? Since we're kind of already out in that direction, Does we're closer? Are we still in the Magic District, or are we
No,
elsewhere?
you're in the District of
You
Love.
went to my shop. Yeah, my shop is like over here.
Yeah, basically. It's like a little bit closer to the central area of it, but it's like around there. But yeah, basically the same.
Well, as they say, when in free reach, you know,
You're not.
we might as well. I know. You know, Jake. You see, the euphemism is when in
that's
Rome,
where
but
Reggie
we don't
would
have
have
a
been.
Rome.
Fuck, you didn't bring him. I couldn't say. Yeah, I didn't actually say that because fucking Reggie's not with you, which is I'm sad.
When in Rome, but there is no Rome here, so I just have to pull a rant, and I can't remember the Dwarven kingdom name, so I can't go off that. That's what I would have said, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. So, but yes, when in free reach, you know, we might as well just and give it a look. See, hopefully Zane won't get assassinated. Wouldn't that be a real shame if it was an inside job?
As we go to Zane. Zane! As you're kind of walking over towards the actual location of which previously had been marked by him, by Darren, you kind of find the alley that he's supposed to be at, probably about 5-10 minutes early. And as you're just kind of glancing around, you hear coming from the shadows themselves, "You got my stuff?"
Yes, as promised.
He kind of walks up to you, opens his palm.
There you are.
Takes a very quick flip through it. Well, it doesn't matter. If it looks like one of your friends has been reading it. He has dirty fingerprints all over the entire thing. Whatever. Look,
Well,
I didn't want to take the job. My brother did. The fucking idiot that he is, he's still family. For now, we're fine. We're leaving the city. You won't save us for a while. Zane, I don't know what kind of shit you're mixed up in, but I'm gonna be honest. This entire fucking mess, it smells worse than you did yesterday.
that's oddly concerning.
Yeah.
I'm just in it for the payday.
Not anymore. I'm in here trying to live a decent life. Didn't give a shit about having too much anymore. I got caught too many times for that. The trade laws here are strict. They're tight. They keep a ship that runs perfectly, almost always. So I skimmed off the top. I took what I could. Not enough that they would get too angry, not enough that we'd get marks on our back. Because the instant that something like that happened, he kind of gestures towards you, you or someone else would have turned up. Now, I'm concerned about what the fuck is going on, but not enough to stick around. So I'll give you this as a friendly bit of warning. Be careful of whatever the shit you're ending up in. And, because you actually delivered this to me as promised, the name of the prisoner that we got the information from, it's Luna Park. Within the tower, first level, easy to visit. You can ask for privacy. The guards will give it to you.
Wow, didn't expect a token of kindness from you. That's
It's not for free. We don't owe each other anymore. You didn't stab me in the back when you had a chance. And you got me my notebook back. With that, I'm grateful. But we're even now. And I'm leaving. And I hope against all the fucking gods I never see you again.
same could be said to you as well. Glad we don't owe each other anything. So can't say the same about your brother. We might have a run with him at some point.
Yeah, maybe. If he steers off of my ship, that's on his fucking dome. Can't be bothered to give a shit to him anymore. He's a grown-ass man, nearing his 30s at this point. Still can't get his fucking head wrapped around his own goddamn loose ass tongue. I tried.
Well,
I did.
he's dug his own grave. He can sit in it.
That'll be his to sit, not mine. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Good luck with whatever mess you're supposed to deal with. I'm leaving.
Godspeed, Darren.
Say hello to the old man for me, would you? Tell him I'm doing alright.
Yes, I'm sure he will be pleased to know you're doing okay.
Yeah. He kind of looks back at you for a brief moment. Goodbye.
I kind of just nod.
And he disappears down the alley.
Luna Park. That narrows it down a bit. Kind of just exit the alleyway and make my way slowly. Actually, first, I'm gonna be shopping.
Perfectly reasonable. Honestly, perfectly reasonable. Feel free to spend as much of or as little of your money as you need and kind of get the ingredients and supplies that you would require. I would say that because you're in Free Reach, or sorry, not Free Reach, because you're in Ardalan, the availability of most supplies is pretty abundant, but check with me for anything that's over 150 gold per singular item. Everything else below that you'll probably find relatively easy.
Yeah, I'll probably be doing this for like about 2-3 hours.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the rest of you don't hear back from Zane.
Yes.
You guys stand around Darcy's shop for maybe 20-30 minutes. You expected him to be back by then. He doesn't show up.
Oh no, he's dead.
Yeah, no, Darcy. After like the first 5 minutes, Darcy, who is tired and just wants to get the day done with, has already started walking towards the guard barracks to meet up with Lark to give him all the fucking evidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wander off and yeah, eventually kind of and actually, you know what? Let's do that next time.